hello, and welcome to week 2 of the Lewa Show. I'm Lewa, KANAH, your host. I know you've been waiting and wanting to watch this show. Here we talk real talk. We talk about things that maybe some people don't want to talk about, and we get down to the real content that I think is important to show and share as young people, as old people, mature aged, whatever it is. This is a place where you're free to say it how it is. Having said that, this is Anne-Marie. You would have seen her on the last week's show. Welcome back.
Lewa. Thank you for having me.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I like the hoops.
Oh, I think this is my mom's style actually. She got
Really? Shout out to
bling
mom.
bling.
Good pick. And the lip?
Oh, this is actually from Maybelline. So this is a very cheap drugstore lipstick. Ultra wearing matte, so good for a night out.
Don't be afraid if you don't know anything about makeup. We will go into it. Now, last week we talked about beauty from within. Following on from that, I wanted to know, in your experience with makeup, what would be the most common mistake that maybe us darker skinned girls make?
I think the most common mistake that girls encounter when applying makeup, when purchasing makeup, is finding the right skin tone foundation for your own skin tone. A lot of girls don't know, and I feel that maybe we don't have the people that are, at the counter to educate our girls that, you could try this shade, or this is the right shade for you if they're like unaware of it.
Right,
and picking the right shade can vary, but I think it's simple, and it comes down to just matching with your neck. So my tip when it comes to matching foundation to your right skin tone and your shade, you can also just pull down just put down your chest. Just apply a little bit, dab with your finger, and if it blends well, then that's how it should be.
So that's the foundation.
Yeah, that's usually how you can blend from your face to your neck. It's not good to try on your hand, because obviously it's much darker than your...
Funny, because when I go into the store, I'm just like dabbing over here.
Yeah, but I think this is not where your foundation is supposed to match. If you're gonna match, you match to your neck, so that when it looks like a blank canvas, it's like one shade all the way down and not a different shade to your neck. But I think that's the most common mistake, and I think girls here in Papua New Guinea find it difficult to find the correct shade because they can't, match with their skin. So the best way to find your skin tone or find your right foundation shade is to match with your neck. In that way, it's seamless and it blends well.
I like it. And your second common mistake?
I think my second common mistake, I find girls putting the wrong shade of eyebrow color. I think you can use black if your hair is black, but my tip would be going a shade lighter to your natural hair color. If you're blonde, then go like a nice shade of brown. But most Papua New Guinean girls have black hair, brunettes, brown, and putting on black eyeliner right on your eyebrows can be a bit too much and can appear very strong. So picking a shade that's a bit lighter than your hair can actually soothe the makeup look and kind of make your face come together. The structure of your face, tends to show well if you pick the right color shade on your eyebrows. So.
Okay. Well, we could talk about this forever, but we won't, because we've got someone else joining us very shortly. We'll be right back. Hello, you're watching the Lewa Show, and it's Lewa here, and we've got Cecil on the panel today again.
Yes, good
Welcome
to be
back.
Thank you. Before we get started, please can we get a touch?
Oh, yes.
Why not?
You're supposed to be sorry.
I'm so used to it now because she just got, how do we say?
She earned her right to get a touch.
Right.
Finally.
Earned her right to get a touch.
Yes.
There's other things that you've earned, apart
Yes.
from the title Zoo Man.
Zoo Master.
Zoo Master. Oh, sorry.
Zoo Man,
Correction.
Zoo Master.
Zoo Master.
Whatever it is, I'm okay.
We found out that you're also the rugby guru?
Yes, well, I wouldn't say guru, but I am an IRB, International Rugby Board. I'm a certified strength and conditioning educator. Yeah, so...
Should you say that like slowly? Because, I mean, that just scared me a little
Okay.
bit. So start from the top.
Yeah,
Strength.
so strength and conditioning educator.
Strength and conditioning educator.
Yeah, so basically what it means is I am able to take participants through a course, and by the end of that course I can certify them with a level 1 in strength and conditioning. Yeah, so they can take that to their clubs, back to their clubs, to their provincial teams, their national teams even, and then apply the knowledge that they've learned in that field. Yeah.
I mean, I was blown away by Zoo last week when we spoke about it, and then now we're going like strength and conditioning. That scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not your usual exercise, so I know that has a lot of intensity, a lot of things that you don't usually do when you exercise like in the gym, right?
Yeah, well, it's more focused around rugby-specific sort of training. Yeah, so the participants are able to go back and plan certain sessions. Like if, for example, a coach says they want to do a speed session, they've got the knowledge base to plan a speed session, or plan a 12-month block. So they can plan 12 months and then 8 weeks in between, or whatever it is their coach requires from them. They've got the knowledge to then go about and do that. Yeah.
So in rugby, especially the code here in the country, like it's the country's sport, really, rugby. What have you seen strength and conditioning training or coaching has contributed to the sporting code in general?
Yeah, I think generally for like most sports in PNG, I mean, with a lot of our young athletes, they don't start playing sports till they're around between 15, 16, 17 years old, until they really join a club or something like that. So I think getting this knowledge early, I mean, you want to get them early so that they don't develop what we call bad habits, but they're not really bad habits. It's just sort of what they've picked up from watching TV or just running around with their friends and things like that, and with this sort of knowledge that they're given, again, early, they can learn how to run properly, the proper mechanics of running and doing weights properly and things like that. I think education is a really important step in order to take our sporting codes to the next level.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you mean like training athletes, but when they were kids, like at a younger age?
Yeah, like being able to give them that knowledge early. Yeah, as opposed to, like, you think about other countries, say for example Australia. They start playing when they're 5, 6 years old,
Very young.
Yeah, very
they've
young.
got that program established way early.
Exactly.
Yes.
So by the time they're 13, 14, they've locked down the mechanics of running, little things, the tackling defense, techniques and things like that. They've got that all down pat by the time they're, early teen years, whereas for us, we're learning that when we're about 17 and 18 onwards. So I think, education at a young age is very important, and I'm able to certify people with that sort of knowledge, so very rewarding.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm inspired. Strength and conditioning, and I'm sure you are too. We've got someone else joining us as well for this conversation, so just hold your thought, because we also want to ask your opinion on makeup in a little bit.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. We've got a full panel on the Lewa Show today. How are you, Kev?
So good.
Welcome back.
What do
So
you guys think
good.
about
Back
his shirt?
Who likes my shirt? Who wants a piece of watermelon?
Solid.
Oh yes.
Solid. Dames. I love it.
Feeling footy.
As usual.
Oh wow.
Slaying.
Life's too short to be boring, guys, right? Wear a watermelon shirt.
Why not?
Watermelon shirt it doesn't go with what we were talking about. I mean, we were talking about rugby just now.
Oh wow.
Have you
Yeah.
played rugby before?
Yeah, a few times.
Really?
Don't ask where.
What position do you play? I gotta know.
I don't even know any positions, but
I
anyway.
don't know. Now, actually, I've never played rugby. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you just lie?
Hey, but I support the Blues. Go the New South Wales. Yes. NSW.
Don't want people to be like, that cab full of absolute.
I was like, wow, really? Can you even catch a rugby ball?
All right, we'll come back to that. Now, we talked about Hong Kong last time.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw the footage was amazing
Oh,
Yes.
on
so
your
good.
page, on your
Yep.
social media page. So after that, you went somewhere else. You jet set up.
I came back to PNG.
Oh,
No. Actually.
look at this liar.
No,
You
no.
lied to us about
Tell us
rugby.
exactly where you've been.
Get to the country. Get to the country, okay?
I was in Japan.
Ah,
Yeah, Tokyo. I spent a week in Tokyo.
nice.
It was so good.
Why Tokyo?
Oh, look. I just thought, you know what? Let's go to the future.
Wow, that's a really powerful statement, actually.
Yeah, it is.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, Japan is so advanced, like technologically, as well as how the whole city is arranged. It's mind blowing. It's so electric, and it's just constantly busy. There's so many things to do, people to see, places to visit. It's
Was
crazy.
it a culture shock for you?
It was a massive culture
Yeah.
shock for me.
I think I
Yeah.
would have a culture shock if
Like
I went there.
I've been to some like really crazy cities. Like I spent some time in Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. So it was like a good cross between Ho Chi Minh City and Singapore, I felt.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
it's-
like in the future.
but very organized, but in the future. Yeah, like fast internet. Like they even had like all these crazy gadgets everywhere, like in the park or on the side of the street where you're walking, like all these fancy electronic notice boards.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so cool, so
Very
different. I've never seen like some of the things that I've never seen in my life before I saw them in Japan.
So what did you learn about that place? Like before you went there, obviously you
Oh,
always do your
God.
research before
Yes.
you go there. What was something that you found out while you were there in Japan?
Japanese,
Because I know when you travel, sometimes
Yeah.
you can never be too sure, really.
guys, Japanese people are very polite, and they're very friendly and they're very respectful. Like to the level of like they would stand in proper lines to catch the public transport. When they're in public transport, like no one uses
Did you
their-
just smirk? Cecil just smirked.
Yeah, no.
All right, so
Guys,
why did you
I'm
smirk?
just thinking of Gordon's Market. Bro, 4 Mile bus stop.
The no lines?
Yeah,
so
people actually
organized.
stand
What
in
is
like
lines?
in proper
What is
lines to
lines?
catch public transport. And also, one thing I noticed about the Japanese people was that wherever they're in a public space, they don't talk too loud or they're not on their phones. Like it's considered
I would
rude.
not survive there then because I'm like so
Oh,
loud.
dude, no, it's
like
so cool
rudely
though. Like,
loud.
yeah, well, you know, we can be quite loud and obnoxious sometimes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like this was something
Most of
else
the
for me, honestly. Just sitting down in a train and everyone's like really like nicely, you know, respecting of everyone's personal space and just being like, oh my god, normal human beings. Jeez, that was so cool. Yeah.
Wow. So,
And free Wi-Fi everywhere, like in the trains, in the buses.
oh my gosh, like
Can we
how
travel there now?
how
Mind you, it's so
cool.
expensive to go to Japan.
How much did it
I mean,
set you back?
I
Let's
love
be honest.
I love the
Let's be
PNG
honest
KANAH, but oh my god, it was
Yeah.
doing terrible things in Japan for me.
So how much did it set you back? Like you don't tell us the exact like rough estimate.
Okay, I could say like for the week's accommodation, we spent around 8,000 to 9,000 KANAH. That was for 7 days.
Notice how we all just
Really?
went silent.
So
Let's
completely
play rugby.
different.
Yeah.
Japan,
Let's
Hong
just play
Kong.
rugby.
Yeah, Hong Kong was
KANAH just
very
doesn't
cheap.
work.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the bargaining power of the PNG KANAH, you really need to plan well to go to Japan if you're going there with PNG KANAHs.
All right,
Yeah.
speaking of planning, I've got a question for you all.
Yeah.
How do you stay committed to your goals? So you want to travel, how did you stay committed?
Oh, look, I'm really bad with managing my finances because I'm always constantly buying clothes or
Like this watermelon.
But I think it's a good investment because
Hey,
that shirt
literally,
is
this was two KANAH, man.
say the
Yeah,
secret.
guys, 2 KANAH. I'll take you out shopping
Wow.
next time.
Okay.
I'll take you out shopping next time.
So how do you stick to your goals?
Honestly, just have a plan.
Okay.
Have a plan and be disciplined. Oh my God, such big words. About
Wow. Thank you for blessing us
being
with those
disciplined. Really
right
can be
words.
disciplined.
What about you, Anne-Marie?
I believe that maybe try a little practice. I think, you know, if you're gonna budget,
Yeah.
try smaller budgeting. Budgeting for a week, budgeting here in PNG.
That's a very
so
good tip,
I
yeah.
think for myself, it's like starting small. Whatever the goal you have, start small.
Yeah.
In that way, you're gonna get to it.
To achieve the little things and then get to the big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Cecil?
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea as well. Thank you. I'm gonna get a touch.
Get a
That was
touch.
awesome.
Get a
Took
touch.
the words right out of
Let's
my
get a
mouth.
touch.
Yeah.
Right. Just because she went last week.
God.
Yeah, no,
We're gonna win his touch back.
yeah, I think it's important that you have your final outcome, but then the steps on the way to get there. You know, you don't
Yeah.
want to skip anything before you get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's little steps that'll take
Yeah.
you to the big picture.
To the big goal.
I mean,
Yeah.
for me as well, I feel that like you can have one main goal, but change your goals as you go along the way to
Yeah.
meet the eventual goal. Like it's
so
a,
being adjustable.
yeah,
flexible.
just being versatile,
Yes.
but having an open mind, but at the same time focusing on what you really want to achieve. So if it's like traveling, putting aside like a savings fund for traveling, and you can get distracted, like probably you have to contribute to a house cry or
Yeah.
a bride price or
Very
whatever.
realistic, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
true.
it's important. Like
So you gotta
change
be
your goal along the way, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, be focused on the main goal.
I'm of the opinion, now all of you have said things that I do, I'm really planned. And like something that I fail in is being adjustable. Like I plan down to the T. Like my day is planned from like 5:30 when I get up to like when I get home at night. Everything is scheduled, which is a problem I think, because it makes me, some people have said, you know, you're such a robot, because I'll literally be like, no, I'm 5 minutes late. What just happened there? But I think it's so important to have a plan.
Yep.
I think if you've got a plan, you have a direction, and learn to be adjustable.
Yeah.
Something which I absolutely am failing at in life at the moment is just learning to be adjustable and like adapting to whatever comes to disrupt you from that path, because you've got to get to the end goal at the
Yeah.
end,
Yes.
right?
Or sometimes people get very comfortable with all the variations in adjusting to different things, and then
Yeah.
they end up,
Missing
Yeah.
the beat.
I think,
Yeah.
constant change is good for a person.
Yeah.
It kind of helps you to grow. Without change, you don't grow. And I think as a person, we all have our little changes in whatever career goals that we want to achieve. And these changes make us who we are at the end of the day when you come home and you're actually, you know, satisfied with what you've done and, you know, you're content. So I think
Yeah.
that's a
So
good thing
everyone
to
needs to have their say. We've got a poll right now on our Lewa Show Facebook page. Go and tell us what helps you to stick to your goals. I think we all need to have a say in this.
Definitely.
Papua New Guinea, we want to hear from you. Tell us about that, and also tell us what are some of your distractions, because I want to know if I'm the only one that's non-adjustable in today's world. Do join us on the Lewa Show Facebook page. Follow these guys. All their links are down here.
Is it like?
Can we do the zoo sign before we go?
Oh, wait.
I think I'm doing it incorrectly,
Yeah,
but
okay.
they get the picture.
Anyway, you get the picture. We will see you all in the next episode of the Lewa Show.
So cool.
Guys, cheers.